Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move the motion calling for military intervention in the spate of mindless killings, kidnappings, robbery, and other violent crimes currently pervading Irepo, Oorelope, Olorunsogo Federal Constituency of Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, my name remains Otumba Bosu George Oladele. I represent Irepo, Oorelope, Olorunsogo Federal Constituency of Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, the House notes the recent increase in banditry and other violent crimes in some parts of Nigeria. Also notes that the increase in activities of bandits and insurgents might have evolved from the decimation of the groups from their stronghold in the Sambisa forest and northeastern Nigeria by security agencies. Further notes that the violent groups, sometimes consisting of foreigners from neighboring countries, are currently on the move and finding safe havens in other places within and outside Nigeria. Aware that in the last 3 weeks, some of the insurgents and bandits have appeared in the northern axis of Oyo State, especially in Kishi, Igboho, Igbokwe, Igbeti, and of Irepo, Oorelope, Olorunsogo Federal Constituency, and over 200 villages and nearby settlements. Also aware that the insurgents and the bandits are presently in makeshift camps within the old Oyo National Park and Games Reserve, traversing the Federal Constituency and the northern part of Oyo State, spanning approximately 2,500 square kilometers of forest land. Disturbed that the bandits cross the roads within the Federal Constituency at will to rob passengers, kidnap people, instill fear, and negotiate for and collect ransom randomly. Further aware that when the bandits are not on the highway, they storm villages to maim, loot, and even kill in search of food, money, and shelter. Also disturbed that villagers, farmers, and cattle rearers living in surrounding villages have now fled and taken refuge in Igbeti, Igboho, Kishi, and so on, thus sleeping in open spaces, overstretching the already limited amenities. Further disturbed that Irepo, Oorelope, Olorunsogo Federal Constituency of Oyo State now has internally displaced persons, which may result in famine as farmers and herders have fled from their farms and villages. Worried that in the last 3 weeks, no fewer than 8 people have died, while more than 15 persons have been kidnapped for ransom, some resulting in fatalities and gunshot injuries. Conscious of the fact that if drastic and decisive actions are not urgently taken, economic and social activities within the constituency will be completely paralyzed, with the attendant economic effect on the southwest zone and the country as a whole. Resolves to observe a minute's silence in honor of the victims of the mindless killing. 2, urge the Chief of Army Staff and Air Staff and Inspector General of Police to urgently deploy the necessary forces to quell the activities of the bandits and insurgents. 3, also urge the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons and the National Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials, shelter, and other needs for the victim of the violence within the Irepo, Oorelope, Olorunsogo Federal Constituency of Oyo State. 4, mandate the committees on emergency and disaster preparedness and internally displaced persons, refugees and initiatives on Northeast zones to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable colleagues, I so move, sir.
Second.